This video brought to you by Jdidpainting.com. If you need your miniatures painted to a tabletop standard, check out Jdidpainting.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to another miniature showcasing from my commissioned painting studio, Jdidpainting.com. If you want to check out my studio, feel free to go check out my website. It's www.jdidpainting.com. And today I'll be showing you yet another awesome War Machine model, another Colossal for Dave from Mini Wargaming, his Cryx Kraken. So without further ado, here's the model.
Hey everyone, so here is Dave's Cryx Kraken. As you can see, I really went for a really nice worn out look on the body. Dave didn't want something very complicated, so what I did was I used basically 3 sets of colors. The first set of colors I wanted for the legs and the tentacles, so they're just normal dirty silver. I used obviously shading and some highlights as well to make the details really pop. The second big color I used was for the body, which I used actually several techniques from another tutorial video made by another YouTuber named Steamforged. So I give him credit for a lot of it. I did use some of my own things obviously, and I'll make a tutorial out of this so you'll know what I used from him and what I didn't. But yeah, I used oil paints to really tint and give the body a really dirty, worn appearance. And I used some chipping over the entire body, once again to give it some rust and chipping. I just really wanted to give it an old, worn out, really gross, dirty appearance. But this is supposed to be contrasted to the third color, which was the nice greens from the engine. So you can see all the very nice bright greens over the entire model, anywhere that goes into the engine and all the way in the back. I just did a nice gradient from lights at the edges to darks in the middle. I didn't use an airbrush for that, I just used my hand. And then I used an airbrush just a little bit to give a little object source lighting at the top and the bottom and the sides to make it look like this thing was very, very bright. Besides that, yeah, it turned out I think pretty well given the amount of time I used on it. It was a really fun model to paint up. I had a lot of fun painting it and I really enjoyed it. The biggest challenges were that it's a lot of metal. It's a very, very heavy metal model, so it tends to scratch easily and chip very easily, so I had to use a lot of varnish throughout my entire painting job. Also, it was a little difficult to get this guy stuck to his base, because as you can see, there's only 3 tiny points of contact. The 4th leg is up, and it was Dave who modeled it this way, so I had to use a little extra green stuff to get it anchored all the way to the base, because it kept coming off the base when I tried to get it stuck in. And for the base, I just went consistent with what the client already had on his army. I just went with painted sand, a couple of different types of sand, large and small granule sand, a few different colors in there so that it produces a really nice gradient of colors on the ground, and some green grass to break up the monotony of the base. And also it is a really good match to the Kraken itself, variation of browns and greens, which goes really well with the Kraken. But yeah, it turned out really nicely. I really enjoyed painting these Colossals. They're really awesome models, and I think this guy is going to turn out really awesome on the tabletop. You might notice just along here, I actually used as well another product that I got from the Steamforged tutorial that was really awesome. It's by AK Interactive. It's called Winter Streaking Grime. It was particularly cool, so it produced a really nice rain/grime effect all over it. So he's really nice and weathered. I think he looks really cool. I really hope Dave likes him, because I'm going to go deliver him sometime in the near future. So you'll probably see a video up, actually probably before this one's up, you'll see Dave's reaction to this one. But yeah, I think it turned out really nicely. And as you can see, I did the greens as well on the sides here, on both sides. So I don't mean to just keep spinning it, but I'm very proud of this model. And here, all the rust and the really worn out appearance. I really like this new way of using oil paints. It's kind of like, you know, when you wanted to make a piece of paper look really old, you dipped in tea and you stained them to make it look really aged and dirty. Kind of the same technique for this, except for dipping in tea, you use oil paints and then buff it out, and it gives that really nice worn out appearance that's just looks really great on this. And as you can see, I did all the greens on all the way up here. I did a couple different colors so that it made it look a little bit glowing, as well as on the gun. I did a little bit of object source lighting just throughout the model, but not a whole lot, just keep it really simple. But this guy, I know he's not made for his awesomeness of looks. He's just kept old and rusty because he's a Cryx, but he's a death machine. He takes old people and throws them in his oven and kills them, and that's what makes him so awesome. So I think he was just a cool guy. And I really love the way that it just, as I said, just really build up of grossness there of the water, because that's where the water would pool up really a lot, and just chipping and rust throughout. I really like the way that the legs turned out, for example, because it looks really old. But yeah, and that's it. You know, it wasn't an extremely hard model to paint up because there wasn't that many colors involved, but I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. And I can't wait to show you guys how I did it in a tutorial. Obviously it won't be like my normal tutorials now. It'll be just like, I was basically filming on the side when I was doing the model, because you can't really get this thing onto a mount to angle at the camera perfectly for painting all the time. So you'll see what I'm talking about in the tutorial. But yeah, so as you guys can see, I can paint Colossals, and so I can paint War Machine. I know my website is only about Warhammer 40k at the moment, but obviously I can definitely paint War Machine for you guys if you want. This guy is a good example of it. I'm really proud of him, and I think he turned out pretty cool. You know, not to toot my own horn, but I'm really excited to see him on the battlefield just ripping up everything to shreds. So yeah, that's it.
Hey everyone, so that concludes the showcasing of the model. I think it turned out really cool, and I think it'll be awesome on the tabletop. So if you want to check us out, as I said, our website is www.jdidpainting.com. We basically will paint any miniature. I know right now we're only priced for Warhammer 40k, but as you can see, we definitely paint War Machine as well. And yeah, we'd love to paint up, or you can contact us at service@jdidpainting.com for a quote for any miniatures you'd want. So till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting everyone.